let's talk a little bit about how we nourish ourselves. How we nourish ourselves is like food, but what if nourishment is also everything else? You know, what we have, like what comes in through the eyes, what we're watching, what we're seeing, what we're also nourishment is what feelings am I allowing and letting go through my system? A liquid, thoughts, movements, feelings. How am I nourishing myself with sensing? So what if many things has to do with how I feel and how I nourish myself? Rest, for example. How I see to nourish and keep myself in like a pulse that is good for me. Yeah, so we so easy go between like a calm pulse, a calm state, like a, I would say sometimes meditative state. It's so easy to go from that calmness and deep, relaxed pulse to drive the car and go in the stores and just do things without even being aware of how am I pulse, how am I heart. Yeah, it is kind of funny because we, at least I, like run away from myself, you can say. So the what I wanted to lift in this talk is to start to be aware. How am I feeling? How is my pulse right now? Because what we want to do is to nourish ourselves. So for example, when I notice that I am stressed only by the steps I'm taking. No one is telling me to walk in a certain rhythm. Yeah, but I myself am just increasing my walk path, my walk rhythm, and all of a sudden I'm like not thinking of the rhythm I'm walking in, and it does something to me. So to catch the thought and allow myself to invite some calming, for example, thoughts, and allowing myself to talk to myself, to allow myself to come into like a, a rate of heart, and pulse that is more, where I can be more connected with me. It seems as this game kind of is going on all the time. Yeah, even though when I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking of, okay, how am I really? How am I really? On what level am I in my calmness and in my pace, with myself? And for example, it excites me to share. So then my like heart rate, probably increases, and, I feel, up lightened, and, so I go into a little bit more of, attentiveness. Yeah. So it's good also just this moment for me to breathe into just this moment. And those, breaths and those reminders during the day brings me into a clearer mind. And also we can use these like mini breaths coming into ourselves. Sometimes it's very nice to close eyes just for a few moments, or minutes, or seconds, or hours, as you like. But perhaps it's possible over the day to, how would your day be if you, paused a few times? Every time I do it, my quality of the moment increases. I've never done it enough. the amazing quality that this moment gives me when I go into presence again, and go into presence again, and go into presence again. It's such a life quality altering, easy, but challenging, since it calls for my presence, that I am aware, and like the to do it, like discipline from the longing of it. So I would say we want to invite it from, a point of, I'd like to give myself even more quality of this moment. So it's such a gift to oneself. So my invitation this moment is to feel your own, rhythm at this moment. Are you watching this, for example, in a rush while doing something else, as we often do? Or do you want to start from the beginning and take a few breaths and close your eyes first, and then listen to it again? To do one thing when being aware of what's happening, it's a great art. It's a really great art, and it increases how it feels to be there in that moment. So that's my wish for you. Have some beautiful inside moments with yourself to increase your experience this moment. Enjoy.